Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Eric Bird, here at StopStrugglingNow.com. And today, part two, Airbnb. A lot of people didn't understand what I was talking about, so I'm going to try and go over it again step by step on how you can start your Airbnb business at zero cost. That's right. Stay tuned. So please, like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, let's get to it. All right, welcome back. Well, Airbnb part two. Everybody wants to know how to do this. As I said before, you can start with literally zero or $1 or $5. So I got a lot of people asking me what's going on, how to start it, make a part two. I don't understand your first one, so here, I'm going to go step by step for you. Make this easy. A lot of people do Airbnb first using their home, condos, so therefore you actually have to go talk to the owners or the renters of the place to see if you're allowed to rent their place, or make a deal with them where you can lease out several units in the building. And of course you'll have a business, but you'll set it up where you have 3 units, let's say, and you make an agreement, you pay X amount of dollars, and you're allowed to list it on Airbnb. Because keep in mind, not every place that's a residential neighborhood, condominium, homeowners association allows you to rent through Airbnb. In fact, there's more and more that HOAs are trying to eliminate renters in their homeowners association. So you got to keep in mind, but that's not what we're doing. So the Stop Struggling Now way, a little bit different twist. So I told you before, I use timeshares myself. You can have timeshare deeded weeks. You can have point systems. You can have every 2 years, every 3 years in some cases. There's different ways that you can own timeshares. The thing with Airbnb now, in certain states, or not states, but in certain cities, you have to register. Like, for instance, in New Orleans, in order to be on Airbnb, you have to register with your license number from the city of New Orleans, which it's maybe $200, $175, something like that. Even though you own a timeshare, even though it's in a commercially zoned area, even though it's a hotel, they still want you to register and sign up if you're going to run through Airbnb. Other places like VRBO, I don't remember, but I think I did not have to sign up, but they got more strict, so I think I have to sign up now with New Orleans. But this is why I suggested that you go through different areas that don't require that right now, which are just as profitable. So let's start out. First off, I did not show Airbnb before, but in case you think it's just for renting out your home or car or mobile home or condo or anything like that, or a room in a house, when you want to become a host, look here, they have host experiences too. So if you have a yoga center, fitness center, whatever you do, and it's a service where you have people come in, you could actually use this as an experience. So you can have people coming from out of town, they don't know where to go, they look up a place for whatever event or whatever they like to do, and they find people offering it, and you have more than one person. You could have 3 people, you could have 4 people, you could have 5, you can have 10, you can have 20, and you are the host of the experience. It could just simply being like there's a person in San Francisco, for instance, that has a sightseeing tour, and they meet at like Golden Gate Park, and then they take people around. It could be as simple as wine tasting in a certain location. I mean, the sky's the limit, so you can actually make money at different ways on Airbnb. It's just not hosting, having people stay in your place or a vacation spot or a condo or house. So that's the first thing I wanted to get out of the way, because some of you may be able to already take advantage of this platform. And remember what I always said about becoming a millionaire is if you can find a platform that advertises for you, where you don't have to actually have to go out and acquire customers. That's the best way to go, because that means while you're sleeping, you could be making money. People will be signing up. While I'm talking right now, somebody could be sending me a message on Airbnb trying to book something. Or I have a few things on Instabook where it books automatically, and they could just be booking something as we're doing this discussion here. So anyhow, let's get to it. So the thing is with Airbnb, you go here and you simply sign up. I didn't get into that because I figured everybody knows how to sign up, list your place, and you sign up and you give a description. I mean, you can mull around in here and you can see how other people do their descriptions, but I mean, you put in your setup, your check-in time, your checkout times, anything you want. You set up when you want these things. You can tell them you have access to a kitchen, or you just have access to a bedroom, or you can say you have access to the entire place. It's up to you, however you want to set it up. But what we're doing, they have access to the entire place because we're not staying there. And it's not really like our place. So that's the beauty of it that I was telling you before. I never liked the fact that when I started, they didn't have Ring, where you can electronically let people in apartments and a home and do things like that. But that's nice. But the other thing that I didn't like about a condo or anything is, even though Airbnb covers you if you have a house or any property, they have this damage insurance. That's fine. But what I always liked was, I liked the fact when I used the timeshare, it was more or less the person has a check in using their credit card. The responsibility of checking in, they go to a front desk. They don't have to find me anywhere. The other responsibility about cleaning up and housekeeping, all on the house. It doesn't cost me anything additional. It's included, so I don't have to do anything. They just check in the front desk. They check out the front desk. If they do damage, the card is on file, just like a normal check-in. And boom, there we go. And the property has insurance as well. And Airbnb has insurance in case somebody did something. In all these years, there's only been one time out of the thousands of rentals that I've done where somebody actually did something. They took the flat screen TVs, and that was about 4 years ago. And the HOA took care of it because there's insurance, and the person used their card when they checked in. So everything got worked out through them. Airbnb didn't even come into play, even though I contacted them, sent pictures, did what I had to do, and then I turned it over. I mean, they might have chipped in a little something, but all I know is the HOA called me up, said, "Hey, Eric, it's all taken care of. We don't have nothing to worry about." That's the one time out of thousands of rentals. So it doesn't happen that often, and especially under our circumstance where people are actually checking in, and they're actually, just like when you go someplace on vacation or some place to stay and you use your credit card and you check in, you're not thinking of tearing up the place trying to steal stuff and doing crazy stuff, because you're thinking, okay, they know who you are, they got your cards on file. You're pretty much screwed trying to play that game. So Airbnb, I just want to give you this thing, but there are other places too. So here you can be listed on Airbnb. Another example is, here's something that's obscure, people wouldn't know about, but let's say, I've been in this game a while. So there's this Phoenix Vacation Rental Homes. A guy named John runs this. So he gave me this deal where he says I need 20% of whatever the booking charge is. So in other words, I make the price, but he takes a hefty fee of 20%. Now, in most instances, that's so hefty, it's ridiculous. I wouldn't normally do that because Airbnb only takes 3%, for instance, right? So that's a minimal cost. But in this case, the Phoenix Vacation Rental Homes does, even though he calls it that, it does all of Arizona. You can see here on the left side, but he takes 20%. So when it's summertime in Phoenix area, let's say, when it's 110 degrees out, you can get rentals there for $50 a night, $60 a night because nobody's there. But when it starts to be around January 15th, and then when spring training comes in, the month of March, and when they have waste management the last week of January, first week of February, first day or two of February, when they have the Arabian Horse Show, starting the second week of February, a two-bedroom unit during this time of year is about $400 to $499 per night or more. So therefore, let's just say if you knew that it only cost you about $130, $120 per night on your maintenance fees, and you know you can charge somebody $399 and be lower than hotels are and everything, you're going to make out pretty good. So what I do is for January through April, my rental rates are basically $300 per night and up. Even a one bedroom I charge $299. A two bedroom I charge like $329 to $399 depending on the property. So I list them all with him, and therefore I can take the 20% hit because it only costs me, let's say, $1,000 for the week. And in these cases, I'm using a week, but we can do 3 nights, 2 nights, 4 nights. We don't have to use the full week. But in March, when it's spring training, everybody wants a week and everybody wants a two bedroom. I shouldn't say it's not 100%, but everybody wants a two bedroom. They bring friends, they go to the games, and they're willing to pay $21, $22, $25, $2,600 for a week. And it only costs $1,200, $1,400 maximum, depending on which timeshare you own. So you can see when you do 2 units, 3 units, 4 units, you start exponentially counting it off, and you start seeing if you're making $1,000 per weekly rental and you have 3 of them, that's $3,000 that month. And all we started out with was for nothing. Now, you can't do it right now because if you were able to get a timeshare in Scottsdale, Arizona area, or even the Phoenix, Arizona area, it will not close. A lot of people were confused about this. When you go and get these timeshares, I'm going to show you where you can get them at this time. I didn't show you last time, but I'm going to show you this time where you can get them at. And therefore, when you go get them, it takes anywhere from 45 days to 3 months before they close. This is why I always say get a unit that has the year. This is 2020, so I say get the maintenance fees paid, so that way you don't have to worry about when you receive it. You'll know it's already paid for that year. The beautiful thing about the Phoenix Vacation Rentals is that the person pays them the 20% fee up front, and then I send the person, the guest, an invoice for the remaining 80%, and they pay me directly. I don't go through Airbnb when you go through Phoenix Vacation Rentals. And so that's the beauty of it. Airbnb, you have to wait 1 day after to receive payment, after the person checks in. So if a person is scheduled for, let's just call it February 1st arrival, you would have already booked February 1st till 4 nights, February 5th, and you're not going to get paid until February 2nd. It'll be dispersed to your PayPal account if you choose PayPal. If you choose to receive a check, well, then your check's not coming for about another week to 10 days. But that's how we do it with Phoenix Vacation Rentals, because you can get paid up front versus down the line. Now, who else are we talking about? Because it's not only Airbnb. See, there's other places like VRBO where you can put your property in. But VRBO, they changed their program. You have to pay now $249 to have your property listed on here. And the beauty of it is, after you have done about 5 or 6 rentals, again, they pay you after the person checks in. But after you've done about 5 or 6 vacation rentals, they may give you an option to where you'll be paid in 2 or 3 days after the person books it. Because now you're a, let's call it a 5-star host. So now you don't have to wait on your money. Another beautiful operation, but you do have to pay up front. The other one, Flip Key, another place where they take 3%, they pay you the day after, you list your properties, it's set up the same way. And by the way, you can have an iCal or a calendar, so you can link your calendars to each one. So you can actually have available dates in each, let's say on Airbnb, and those available dates will also show on VRBO and Flip Key. So therefore, you don't have to run around for each one and make the calendar available or block the calendar that dates aren't available. You can set up one, and then it'll link to the other ones and automatically, like I said, leave it available. So that streamlines your time. You don't have to go to each one. So that's the beauty of that. I'm missing some other things, so I'm going to go down the list here. So the next one is Red Week. So a lot of people don't know or heard of Red Week. Red Week is where you can find rentals and you can do resales. So you can see here resales, the none are 0. So obviously, well, here's one for 50, but it's a diamond property. I wouldn't get it. But there's you see, if you wanted to buy one, there's some for 0 apparently, right? But that's not the main thing. The main thing is the rental portion. So for instance, a lady sent me a message on the Phoenix vacation rentals asking me about in Scottsdale coming up January 8th through the 13th, for instance. So what do? I don't have it available at my disposal, but then I can go around to places like this, and if I wanted to go look for this place in Scottsdale and see if somebody else is renting it, then I can make a deal with them and hopefully they'll rent it to me for something that I can charge her more for. Not everybody wants to do that, but you can look around and see. So you can piggyback it, right? There's other ways to generate income. Maybe I don't get to make $1,000 this time, but maybe I'll make $200 this time, or $300 profit. And as you know, profit's profit. Come on, let's get real. You're not going to turn down any profit. This is your business. This is what you do. You make profit. That's the name of the game. All right. So Red Week is another place. And you can also list your place for rent. So let's say this Marriott's Coalina Beach Club. It's outside of Honolulu and sitting out there by itself. So you can see here, if you wanted to find something out there, let's just, I gotta log in, it looks like, but I won't log in. But if you wanted to find something there, you just log in. They'll show you the rental prices. All these are for weeks normally, or sometimes people do 3 nights or 4 nights, or sometimes people have leftover weeks where they have like, there could be something right now that somebody has that is from the 1st through the 4th left over for rent, and they'll rent out just those last 3 or 4 nights, and somebody could be looking to go to Hawaii, Honolulu, if that's a place that you do, and you could offer that to them if they were looking for it. So that's another way you can do something, and right here is a way you can see where, like I said, you can make extra money. Now we go to TUG. TUG stands for Timeshare Users Group. That's a very informational place to go to. They have a forum. This is not their forum, but this is another place where you see resales and timeshare rentals. I'm going to show you something that's very interesting, because timeshare resales, like I said, some people were saying, Eric, I don't know what to do, where to get the free ones. Look right here. This says free timeshares. Okay? Now, you just don't want to buy any timeshare. Like I said, I told you guys before, there's certain areas, like the things of interest, Vegas. because there's always something going on in Vegas. And look at this. This guy's giving free closing, free 2020 usage. It's every even year, meaning right now this year it's a floating week, 1 through 51. What that means is you can reserve a week, and it could be, let's call week one would be this weekend starting Friday the 3rd. That'd be week one. Second week is would be starting the 10th of January. Third week is starting the 17th. And then check-in days it depends on the resort, but check-in days are either Friday, Saturday, or Sunday in most cases. Now, again, this is a week. I don't really like weeks that often because most people who go to Vegas don't stay there a week. They usually stay there for their convention. They usually stay there for the weekend. They usually stay there for 3 or 4 nights or 2 nights. So I like resorts or places that have points. Like you see this Wyndham points here, but I don't recommend getting Wyndham. But this is why I recommend, if you can get points, then I recommend Holiday Inn Vacation Club, Shell Vacation Club, things like that. Because those properties are around Vegas and they're not booked up all the time. Wyndham properties are a little different. You can borrow points from the next year, and people have millions of points, and they can reserve stuff like a year out, and availability within a reasonable time frame for most people going on vacation is not going to be available. So that's why I don't suggest doing that. But things in Vegas I always like. Tahiti Village, I'm not familiar with it really, but I'm just trying to show you that people give away free units, and free maintenance fees are already paid, and you get a free week for the year, and that's where you want to start out, because you want to give yourself an advantage that possibly you can rent something and make the money to pay your maintenance fees for the following year. That's the idea here. That's why I say make sure your maintenance fees are paid, free closing costs, so somebody could actually come and get that. And it's it's a 1-bedroom. So I will say this, I do recommend, if you can get a 2-bedroom unit, you should always get a 2-bedroom unit. If it's a 1-bedroom unit in a place like Vegas, a 1-bedroom can work because there's always just 2 people coming, and then oftentimes it's 3 or 4 people, and a 1-bedroom still sleeps, and it's a floating week, even though it's every even year. But hey, that's a start for somebody. And here, Oakmont, another free. Oakmont's in Pigeon Forge. That's a no-go zone. Pigeon Forge is not that popular. How many people, you hear saying, I'm going to Pigeon Forge? That's crazy. But anyhow, I just wanted to show you. There's places like Tug where you can get your free week. All right? They pay for everything. And sure, if you got that, it'll probably take 3 months for Tahiti Village to transfer it over to you, and then after 3 months it's in your name. And then what happens, you call up owner services, or they'll have a way you can go online and check availability, or you can book, and when you call owner services or go online, you can book your week. And what week are you going to book? It's going to be a week that you know is very popular, like the EDC in May every year. Popular. All right, maintenance fees for the Tahiti Village 1-bedroom, they said it was about $550, if I'm not mistaken. $537, let's call it $550. If that week was available, that's what I would book. Sure, and then when I go to Airbnb or one of these others, I'll make it a 4-night minimum, because the EDC, usually people come in on a Thursday. They stay Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday because it still runs Sunday. So, and you can have a 4-night minimum starting on Wednesday, and you just leave the Wednesday through Monday available. And just make it an Instabook if you want. You don't have to. And then, since you know it's $530, basically those, even though you're going to lose your full week, and you can only rent those 4 nights, but see, those 4 nights, the 1-bedroom you could possibly rent for $250 to $300 per night. So that just gives you an idea right there. So you can double your money off of 4 nights. And this is why it matters which nights and which weeks you choose. Just like right now, January 6th through the 10th is the CES show in Vegas. So if you would have booked, I don't know if you can do 3 nights here or 4 nights. Like in some instances, a lot of timeshares will let you rent 4 nights and 3 nights separately and split it up. But if you're not, some people would have to book like right now, the 5th through the 12th, right? But the 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th, you can charge $300 a night. In fact, you can probably go see it if the Tahiti Village is even available. You'd probably see it cost a lot more than that. I haven't looked myself, but usually I don't. Tahiti Village is in the South Las Vegas Boulevard. I normally don't mess that far out. I don't like to own anything out that far because a 1 bedroom by the Strip, you can charge like $400 a night. Like right now, you can see the one I'm about to show you, the Desert Club Resort. Go look. January 6th, 7th, 8th, or 9th. Try to stay there 2 nights. Find out how much it costs if it's available. I believe it's going to cost you, a 1 bedroom is going to be over $500. And here you are, Good Samaritan, showing up, and you're on Airbnb and you're only charging somebody $370 a night or $349 a night. They're getting it at a ridiculous price, but yet maintenance fees near the Strip might cost me a 1 bedroom at the Desert Club cost me $750, I think, something like that. And here I am. We can split our weeks up at Desert Club. We can do 2 nights, 3 nights, 4 nights, 5 nights. So I can book the 6th through the 9th, the 7th through the 10th, 6th through the 10th, no problem, separately. And at 300 and about 29, I think I'm charging 329 this year or 349, I can't remember. But I'm charging like 329, let's keep it simple, 350. And basically any of those nights, if somebody does 3 nights, I've already paid my 2020 maintenance fees, and I got profit, and I have 3 or 4 nights left over depending on how it's booked. So like right now this year, a guy got a 2 bedroom for the 6th through the 9th. He's paying $399 a night. The 2 bedroom maintenance fees is roughly $850, I think it was. So he paid basically 1,100 and something. I don't know what the actual number is. And my maintenance fees are paid, and I'm going to make about $200 or $300. And I'm going to use the other 2 nights where somebody wants January 19th for like 3 nights, and I'm charging them like another 200, and it's a 2 bedroom, so $329 per night. So basically, you can do the numbers. That's 1,000 roughly, and I made another 200. So basically, we're talking about $1,000 profit off of a week. So this is why I recommend the Holiday Inn Vacation Club Desert Club situation. That's a deeded week. The points I'm about to show you, so you have to stay tuned for that. Now let's get down to getting some of these free timeshares. Timeshare Nation. Some people said, Eric, I don't see what's going on with the Timeshare Nation. Well, as you can see right here, it says free 2020. So all you had to do is, before it said free 2019, now since we're in 2020, it says free 2020. Look what Holiday Inn Resort at Desert Club, free Sheraton Vistana Resort in Orlando. I actually own here. The reason why I like this, if it's a floating week, not a deeded fixed week, it has to be a floating week if you're going to own at Sheraton Vistana Resort, because the location is on the other side of what is that, 4? I think it's 4. It's on the other side of 4, or is it 75? Other side of 75, and I can't remember. But anyhow, it's the main highway that goes straight down by Disney. But anyhow, you go, it's right on the other side, and you can drive right underneath the freeway, and you're right there in Lake Buena Vista. And you normally, I shouldn't say normally, you're going to get a 2 bedroom if you're going to get something in Orlando. because families go there. And again, there's certain times of the year that you need to book. Summer is interesting. You can only make maybe $300-400 profit. But the best times is like when they have their convention coming up in February. It's the second week in February. You can charge 350 a night because business people are coming in. They're staying at the convention center. The convention center is 5 minute drive away. So instead of, and your maintenance fees are roughly $1,100. So over the course of you can charge like 7 nights because most of the people stay there for like 4 or 5 days. You can charge like $300 a night. I mean, there's just different avenues. And if you happen to be able to get a Christmas week or New Year's week, then you can charge easily $2,400 for the week. So it again, that's an option for you. Um, let's see if there's any Shell Vacation Club. Here we go. This is what I'm talking about. If you can get a Shell Vacation Club points ownership, the reason why I say that, you got to get lots of points. In other words, 5,000 points not going to help you. 10,000 points not going to help you. If you're going to do this, you're going to have to be in it to win it. So therefore, you need to get separate contracts. Now, notice that they have Hawaii, Arizona, all in here. So you do not want a different contract. Once you commit to a contract, so if you buy, let's call it the California, well, I would probably get an Arizona club, but let's just say you get an Arizona club. And then from this day on, every contract you add to your account has to be in the Arizona club. The reason why, if you get separate clubs, there's a club fee, first of all, and each club costs differently per point. Hawaii, the reason why I don't recommend Hawaii is because if there's a hurricane, if there's some problems, it's going to cost you more in maintenance fees. California club, again, the same thing. In California, everything costs more. So Arizona club would be the least expensive. And the beauty of the club is you have access to 28 plus properties, which now means you can call up, or you can actually go online, log in, and look up 28 different properties. Like for instance, there's ones in Las Vegas, my favorite place. There's one in Anaheim, California, next to Disneyland. There's properties in again Orlando, of course. There's properties in Scottsdale and Phoenix, Arizona. And all these are on the point system, and the points are roughly, well, they're kind of expensive, $25 per, or 25 cents per point now, roughly. And let's call it 3 or 4 days could be 4,000 points. But that is what it is. But 15 days or less, points are only 15 cents a point, and that's where you want to be at. And again, it's advantageous because you could have already booked up the Las Vegas, because they have a place in Vegas. You could have booked that up already, and you could be charging $300 and some odd dollars per night and making roughly a profit of $200 per night. And because it's not a deeded week and it's points, you can have 3 or 4 units. And if you can make $600 profit and you have 3 or 4 units, it's not bad at the beginning of every year that you're going to have $2,000 or $3,000 of profit in your pocket, and some of your maintenance fees are paid. That's a beautiful thing. So that's why I recommend Shell Vacation Club, and they give you the 2020. Wyndham Mauna Loa, Hawaii. This is interesting. If it's a 2 bedroom, I would recommend getting it. The reason being, because it's a deeded week, it's not points. The deeded weeks and point system with Wyndham are two different things. The availabilities are different. So, and they allow you to do different things such as upgrades. And you can do, if I'm not mistaken, yes, you can do 3 nights and 4 nights, which helps you out greatly. Because again, not everybody always stays 7 nights. So if somebody calls up, or you put in there, you can stay, 3 nights or 4 nights, and therefore that gives you flexibility. Now you can rent out more nights for a higher price. So of course, Christmas time, January, February, March, in Hawaii is prime time. So, you know, St. Martin, one of my favorite little islands. Some of you have to watch that video oh, I spoke too soon. I've never put out a video where I was at St. Martin. I've shown some pictures though. Work hard, play hard. When I was in St. Martin. Let's see. That's just an example. So you're going to pick places that are in the ones I mentioned: the Vegas, the New Orleans, the Anaheim. I wouldn't recommend Orlando, like I said, because there's so many properties in Orlando. Unless you can get like that Sheraton Vistana, and it's a 2 bedroom. That's a good company. Marriott bought Vistana, by the way. Um, Imperial at Hawaii Resort, a 1 bedroom unit that sleeps 6 is a good one. Uh, if that's what this is, I don't know if that's what it is, but you click on more, it'll tell you. It's what they call it, a palm unit or a banyan unit. That's all you need to know. Both of those sleep 6. What it is they have a bed in the bedroom, they have a sofa sleeper in the living room, and they have a Murphy bed that pulls off the wall. And the palm unit has 2 bathrooms. The banyan unit only has 1. And yes, I own there. The reason being is because it's sleep 6. I have the sleep 6 units, and that's the reason. Let's see here. This is a 1 bedroom. This is a banyan, so it only sleeps 4. So you wouldn't want that. But I'll give you a little secret though. Uh, there's something called Hawaii Timeshare Exchange. H as in Howard, T as in Tom, S as in Sam, T as in Tom. Hawaii Timeshares Exchange. Okay, well, it's called Hawaii Timeshare Exchange. I can't remember their acronyms, but they actually have weeks that you can exchange, and they have last minute deals where some of those weeks at the Imperial will be available for $800, $900. So that's why I'm getting rid of my Imperials, because I can actually get weeks for less from other sources than paying my $1,500, $1,600 maintenance fees every year. So just keep that in mind. And the reason why you want to get these for free is because in case you want to get rid of them, you can get rid of them for free, even though most people will want the same thing from you. They would want the maintenance fees paid and free closing. So keep in mind, once you get these things, it's not like you can just get rid of them, because normally there's going to be a fee, like the Shell Vacation Club. I don't know what they charge now, but I think it's $500 just to transfer the title, which there's not even really title, it's just points. And you just sign some paperwork and it's transferred, and they want to charge $500. So once you get in, it's almost like you can't get out, but you have to give it away if you want to get out. They don't have any value, regardless of what they tell you at these damn seminars. All right, let's go. Where am I missing? Oh, eBay. Here we go. People saying on eBay, I can't find it, Eric. Okay, once again, you see all these. I specifically chose Vegas because, like I said, Grandview, Las Vegas, 2 bedroom lock off, fixed week 4. You don't want that. Fixed weeks mean you have to have week number 4 every year. There's no guarantee you'll be able to rent week 4 every year. You want a floating week if you're going to do something. That's not floating. This David Wally's is in by Lake Tahoe, outside of Lake Tahoe, no good. Grandview, these are RCI points, no good. No good, no. No, we don't want them RCI points, you're not renting. Jockey Club, week 2. It says week 2, but Jockey Club floats. In case you don't know, Vegas is one of my little playgrounds. The Jockey Club is actually connected to the Cosmopolitan. The elevator by the pool, if you go to floor, I believe it's 3, you get off, you're in the Cosmopolitan. As a Jockey Club guest or owner, if you stay there, you don't even have to own at the Jockey Club, you'll have access to one of the pools at the Cosmopolitan. So just giving you a heads up on that. That's why owning there is actually kind of cool. The downfall is the weeks are floating. And there's so many owners that all the good weeks are booked up like literally a year in advance. So if I wanted the CES show for 2021 in about 3 or 4 days, I would have to book the week and pay my 2021 maintenance fees in order to get that week, or to get those 3 or 4 nights that I want, because they allow you to split up your nights as well too. You don't have to use all 7 nights at one time. So Jockey Club is interesting. It could be pretty cool. So that's always a cool spot. Ridge Tahoe is a cool spot, but never mind, don't mess with them. Holiday Inn Desert Club, one of my favorites. Here we go. Free closing. Seller pays all the closing fee, $1. That's the bid right now. This is a 1 bedroom. I've already looked it up. And the reason that, again, I like these guys is because I can upgrade for $25 per night. So if somebody says, again, the maintenance fees are $750 roughly, no big deal. But now somebody calls me up and says, hey, I want January 19th through the 26th. This happened today. I can use my 1 bedroom week and pay the upgrade fee of $25 a night for a 2 bedroom. Now, I wouldn't do that, of course, because a 2 bedroom maintenance fee is only $900. So it's kind of a give and take. But the point is, even if you have a 1 bedroom, you still have access to a 2 bedroom if necessary. And again, you can do 2 nights through 5 night reservation. Just can't do a 1 night reservation. And here we are. Free closing. Seller pays all closing costs. Holiday Inn takes about 3 months to transfer title. Okay? 80,000 RCI points? No. Do not do that. RCI means you don't want to mess with that, because you're not supposed to be renting RCI points. Now, with all that said, Polo Towers no go. That's a diamond property. Don't think about it. Again, they're one of these companies that list their timeshares for sale, and in my opinion, they use owner weeks. Again, you have to reserve so far in advance that there's no advantage for you by owning with these guys. What else are we talking about today? So I'll end this. I know this is long, but I'm going to log in. Check this out. So this is actually, if you own points with the Holiday Inn Vacation Club, this is actually the login. If you own a deeded week, it's not really for that. But if you guys can see the screen, this New Orleans starting April 1st is kind of exciting. So see here, I own a 1 bedroom and a 2 bedroom deeded week, and then I own points that you can see here shortly. Now, they're aggressive. The Ridge Tahoe, and they're adding a spot in New Orleans, which is awesome to me. So now you can see I used up all my points because I borrowed my 2020 points last year. So what I did was so when I get paid, just like right now, when I make, for instance, let me guys show you guys something. Somebody wants to stay January 6th for 3 nights during the CES show in a 2 bedroom in Las Vegas. So you can see, even though the owner services is closed, I can actually look up availability. And look here, it's available. This right here, 37,000 points, is almost the equivalent of, it's like $275. This guy is going to pay a 2 bedroom. He's going to pay $320, $340, $350, I think it is. $349 per night. He's going to pay over $1,000, and it's only going to cost me $260. And as you can see, there's 2 units available. So I would have to borrow next year. And just to give you a heads up, next year, meaning I have to borrow, I'm going to pay $4 per 1,000 for this, plus a $64 booking fee. They charge for a booking fee. That's it. And same thing would work with my deeded week. I actually called up earlier today. The deeded week side, they don't have anything available, but they have something available on the point side. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. And all I have to do is be on one of these platforms, VRBO, Flipkey, Airbnb, and have the dates available. And then people can ask me questions. You don't have to be on Instabook. People can send you. You can set it to. You don't have to have it on Instant. You can just have it on. I want a request for every booking, and then people will send you a request, and then all you have to do is roll in, click on it, then send them back saying yes, I have it available, and then boom, and in the description online it just shows it right then and there. Check-ins this time, check-outs this time. The unit is 2-bedroom, 2-bath, king in the master, a king in the second bedroom, a full-size kitchen with pots, pans, and whatever, a patio balcony. The place has a pool, fitness center, hot tub, snack bar, these little amenities. And then you would already have that in the description. They see it, they like it, they say okay. You let them know it's by the High Roller. And now keep in mind, next week when there's no CES show, I can't charge $350 a night. So that's why I wouldn't even. I'm still going to have those places available, but now my pricing, even on a weekend, goes down to $329, something like that. And then whenever there's like Martin Luther King weekend, it'll be back up to $359, $369 a night, because I know on the open market it's $400 a night and up. So I have to be below that, because Airbnb, VRBO, Flipkey, they actually charge the guests more than you charge them. So they're making 3% from you as the host, and they're probably making another 10% from the guest. It's up there. So even though I'm charging the guy $1,000, $1,100, whatever, he's going to end up paying $1,300 probably, just so you get an idea. So hopefully that clarifies everything, how this works, where you can get it. So thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your support, because we have cleared 4,000 subscribers. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And we're trying to get you to be making more money in this year and every year thereafter. And if you have any questions, you know where to reach me. Eric at StopStrugglingNow.com. So please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. And you know it's hard out here. Things are looking good on the stock market, like I keep saying, but pay attention. Manufacturing, farming, truckers, prices at the store. You can't keep maintaining this, so you got to get your streams of income, ladies and gentlemen. So this is one way. This is a stream, and it's a heavy stream. You can make a lot of money. If you saw the previous video, I actually showed you my 1099s from 2013 or 2014, 2015, 2016, something like that. I showed 3 of them. Not like these other so-called gurus who show you some other crap talking about stuff on a computer screen. I'm actually showing you my 1099s. So therefore, there ain't no manipulation of numbers talking about I do this. No, I've been doing this. So again, keep your head up, keep moving, and I'm out.